So here's the thing. I'm really just overhearing Seth Rogen in animated movies. My problem is he doesn't try, and he just uses his regular voice and his laugh. Vocally, I just can't tell the difference between this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy, or this guy. I'm just over it. If he tried to switch up his voice and be different characters, I'd be okay with it, but he just doesn't.
What are you looking at? Honestly, your weird dead eyes.
They are weird. Super weird.
It's so funny.
Okay, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are just reaching that rebellious phase in their teenage lives. They've been cooped up in the sewers. They want to go out, experience New York City, do some people watching, and defy their dad. They meet April O'Neil and they get wrapped up in a feud with Superfly and his gang of mutants. They've got an evil plan, and the only ones that can stop it are some heroes in a half shell. Turtle power. This cast is pretty huge, I'd say unnecessarily stacked, and it's pretty hit and miss for me. Basically, they're all face actors, not voice actors, so they either did fine or they just sucked. There were a few standouts, but not enough to justify hiring actors instead of voice actors. The Turtles were actually voiced by teenagers. I love that idea, and it kinda worked. Leo and Donatello, they were great, but Raphael was meh, and Michelangelo was way off. I know that it's my nostalgia, but I have a specific tone in my head for Mikey, and this just wasn't it. He's supposed to be like a skateboarding surfer dude, you know? Like, oh, cowabunga.
A moment to reflect. I'm Michelangelo.
All right, here.
Yeah. April, it's Mikey. I'd just like to say hello.
Would you give...
And what we got was not even close.
Why did we pick a fruit shaped exactly like my head?
Seth Rogen as Bebop was his standard self. But Rocksteady, that was played by John Cena, and John Cena did good. He actually did a different voice and tried to be a rhinoceros.
What you looking at,
Yeah,
punk?
bro, what you looking at?
Paul Rudd killed it as Mondo Gecko. He killed it.
They got to go.
Jackie Chan was our favorite rat, Master Splinter. As much as I love the guy, you could tell he was just reading off a piece of paper. Have you seen Rush Hour? Well, that's the voice that Master Splinter has, okay? It's not a voice actor. Ice Cube, he played Superfly, and I love Ice Cube. I love seeing him in stuff. But we just got Ice Cube's voice, you know? So you've just got this massive fly with Ice Cube's voice.
He's a cool supervillain, I'm a cool supervillain.
I decided to kill all the humans and let the mutants rule the earth.
Do you see what I'm getting at here? I don't know if you know this, but the face actor, Jeremy Irons, he played Scar in The Lion King. For Scar's big musical number, Jeremy Irons couldn't handle it and he strained his voice. He had to pull out. So what did they do? They brought in the voice actor that does the voice for Winnie the Pooh. Winnie the Pooh finished that song for Jeremy Irons.
The point that I must emphasize is
You won't get a sniff without me!
so prepare for the coup of the century. Be prepared for the murkiest scam.
Half of Scar's song in Lion King is sung by Winnie the fucking Pooh, and you guys had no idea. They brought in a guy not only to impersonate Jeremy Irons, but to sing as Jeremy Irons, and he did better than Jeremy Irons. That's the difference between a voice actor and a face actor. There's just a better job that can be done here, and face actors are putting voice actors out of work, and it's
Pissing me off.
okay, I'll calm down now. Oh yeah. I also didn't like April O'Neil, like, at all. Mostly because they made her the same age as the Turtles, and, like, Leo has a crush on her, and I don't understand why that's even a thing. However, I absolutely loved Post Malone and Rose Byrne.
Oh, g'day, fellas.
Very short parts, and they played very specific characters. That totally worked for me. That was fine. Okay, so, for the most part, I really like this one, okay? I'm telling you, I did like it overall. We'll get to the things that I didn't like in a minute. The animation of this thing, that was my favorite part. It's 2D and 3D mixed together, and there's a lot of like scribble drawings, messy scribbles, and there's nothing that's perfectly shaped. And I just really enjoyed looking at the artwork moving in front of my face. The camaraderie between the turtles, I thought that was spot on. I totally believed that they were brothers. I thought the story was solid. It gave me what I expected and also threw me a few curveballs that I wasn't expecting. There was a lot of humor, and a lot of it landed for me. I laughed a lot. Perhaps because I have a childish sense of humor. As I said before, I liked that the turtles were teenagers, but they weren't like annoying teens. They were more than tolerable. The action scenes that we got when all the turtles were fighting together, I thought those were an absolute blast. To be honest, I wish we had a few more action scenes like that. I also thought that it was nice to see the turtles sized correctly. The turtles in the last couple of live action movies were like enormous and on steroids and indestructible, including all of the other mutants and the entire rogues gallery of turtles villains. With all these different mutants and personalities clashing together, I felt the mayhem. Mutant Mayhem was very evident. Being a Turtles movie, you know there's gonna be some kind of giant battle at the end, and this one was fun as fuck. Villains and the Turtles and everybody fighting together, way better than I expected. However, the conclusion of this whole thing, I think I hated it. Yeah, I kinda hate how this story ends. I kinda hate it. Without diving into any spoilers, it's too friendly of an ending. Yeah, I can stick with that. The very end of this whole thing was too friendly for me, and I didn't like how it ended. So other than the voice acting issues and the very end of the flick, I did like this one. Definitely one of the better turtle movies that I've seen in the past 10 years. Not as good as Batman vs. the Ninja Turtles, but better than the live action ones, that's for sure. It's definitely kids friendly too. Kids are gonna love this thing. And that's gonna kickstart another cycle of a new generation of TMNT fans. They did it again. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles will go on forever. Okay? See ya! Subscribe! Okay, so this was an early premiere, and with that comes 4DX. I had to go see this one in another 4DX theater, and the chairs are moving, and the water was spraying, and the wind was blowing, and it was violent, yes. And like usual, I was getting beat up. But then something happened. I decided to just let go and sit forward and go with the action. And I do this, what I call the hula hoop method. And I move with the seats. So when the seat throws me forward, you sit forward and you go, You gotta put your arms up too. And you just move with it and you hula hoop with it. So for sure, for half of the movie, I look like a fucking idiot. But you know what? I'm not sore today. And all those other people in the theater that weren't doing the method, they're probably dead right now. I have figured out how to watch a 4D movie, and I don't think it's going to bother me anymore. It's always so funny to see people's first reactions, their first experience of 4DX, and when the seats first and start like moving, everyone's like, and by the end, they fucking hate it. They're just getting thrown around, no reaction, accepting their fate. You might say that they got a little shell-shocked, but I beat it. I beat it.